Let's walk on the wise path.
Have you ever questioned why you think the way you do? Why you feel certain fears, doubts, or limitations? It's not random. Since the day you were born, your mind has been shaped by forces you never even noticed. Your parents, teachers, society all unknowingly uploaded their beliefs into your brain, like a program being installed on a computer. But what if that program was designed to limit you? To keep you thinking small, afraid, and dependent? That's the matrix in action. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, that's just the way things are? Maybe you've accepted struggles because you believe life is supposed to be hard. Or perhaps you've held back from chasing a dream because a little voice in your head whispered, "People like me don't succeed." That voice isn't yours. It's the program. The worst part? The matrix is so subtle, you don't even notice it. It's like being in a room with tinted windows. You see the world, but not as it really is. The tint alters your perception, and you accept it as reality. But here's the truth. You have the power to remove that tint, to see clearly for the first time. The first step is recognizing that this program exists. You didn't choose these beliefs, they were handed to you. But just because you didn't choose them, doesn't mean you have to keep them. The program can be rewritten, and once you take control, you'll realize something incredible. The limits you thought were real were never there to begin with. Spotting the matrix in your daily life. How do you spot something that's invisible? The matrix isn't like a physical prison with bars you can see and touch. It's a mental construct hiding in plain sight. But if you know where to look, its patterns become clear. Start by examining your daily thoughts and behaviors. Have you ever noticed how often you react automatically without even thinking? That's the matrix at work. Imagine waking up in the morning, already stressed about the day ahead. You're not even out of bed, and your mind is replaying yesterday's worries or projecting fears about tomorrow. Why? Because the program runs on fear. It thrives on keeping you distracted, overwhelmed, and too busy to question it. Take a closer look at your routines. Do you often feel like you're on autopilot? Like you're going through the motions, but not really living? That's because the matrix relies on repetition. It feeds you the same thoughts, the same emotions, and the same outcomes, over and over again. It's why problems in your life seem to repeat. Financial struggles, toxic relationships, self-doubt, these aren't just coincidences. They're cycles created by the program. But here's the catch. The matrix isn't some external force controlling you. It exists in your mind, and its power comes from your belief in it. The moment you start questioning these automatic patterns, you weaken its grip. Ask yourself, why do I believe this? Where did this thought come from? Once you start spotting the matrix in your daily life, you'll see it everywhere. And that awareness is the first crack in its foundation. The first step, recognizing the prison. Breaking free from the matrix begins with one crucial realization: you're in a prison. But this isn't a prison with walls or chains. It's a mental prison built from years of beliefs, fears, and expectations that were never truly yours. Recognizing this is the hardest step because the prison feels so real. After all, if you've lived your entire life within its walls, how do you know what freedom looks like? Think back to your earliest memories. As a child, your mind was wide open, like fertile soil waiting for seeds to be planted. And planted they were. Every word from your parents, every lesson from your teachers, every cultural norm you absorbed became the foundation of your reality. But here's the problem. Not all those seeds were healthy. Some were weeds beliefs like money is the root of all evil, life is a constant struggle, or you're not good enough. Over time, these weeds grew, tangling your thoughts and shaping your world. The matrix strengthens itself by making you believe there's no other way. It tells you this is just life, and you accept it. But here's the truth. The prison isn't real. It's an illusion, maintained by your unconscious acceptance of those old beliefs. So how do you recognize the prison? Start by questioning everything. Why do you believe what you believe? Who told you what's possible and what's not? The more you question, the more you'll see that these walls aren't solid. They're made of assumptions, and assumptions can be dismantled. Recognizing the prison isn't just the first step, it's the key to the door. Breaking the code. Once you recognize the prison, it's time to break the code. Think of your mind as a computer. For years, it's been running outdated software, full of bugs, limiting beliefs, self-doubt, and fear. But here's the exciting part. Just like a computer, your mind can be reprogrammed. Start by identifying the beliefs that no longer serve you. What thoughts keep you stuck? Maybe it's, I'm not smart enough, or I don't deserve success. These are the Matrix's codes, and they're not yours. Write them down. Then ask yourself, is this really true? Spoiler alert, it's not. These beliefs were planted in you, but you have the power to overwrite them. Now, replace those limiting beliefs with empowering ones. If you've been telling yourself, I'm not good enough, flip the script. I am capable, and I deserve success. At first, this might feel awkward, like wearing new shoes that haven't been broken in. But the more you repeat these new beliefs, the more they'll take root. Remember, the Matrix was built through repetition. You can use the same tool to dismantle it. Here's a pro tip. Use visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living the life you truly want. Feel it, see it, believe it. Your mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. The more you visualize your new reality, the more your subconscious will accept it as truth. Breaking the code isn't a one-time event. It's a daily practice. But every time you choose a new thought, you're rewriting the program. And with each rewrite, you take one step closer to freedom. The power of conscious choice. Breaking free from the Matrix comes down to one thing: choice. But here's the catch. Most people don't realize they even have a choice. The Matrix conditions you to believe you're stuck, that life is happening to you, and that your reactions are automatic. But the truth? You're in the driver's seat. You always have been. Let's break it down. Every situation you face comes with two paths: reaction or response. Reaction is autopilot mode. It's when something happens and you instinctively lash out, shut down, or feel overwhelmed. It's like following a script someone else wrote for you. But response? That's when you pause, observe, and choose how to act. It's where your power lies. Here's an analogy. Imagine you're a chess player. If you play mindlessly, reacting to every move your opponent makes, you'll lose. But if you take a step back, look at the board, and think a few moves ahead, you're suddenly in control. Life works the same way. The Matrix wants you to act without thinking, to panic, to fear, to give up. But the moment you pause and choose differently, you disrupt the entire system. For example, let's say something goes wrong at work. Your default reaction might be anger or frustration. But what if, instead, you took a deep breath and asked yourself, what's the best way to handle this? That simple shift changes everything. You're no longer a pawn in the Matrix's game. You're the player. The more you practice conscious choice, the more you'll notice something incredible. Problems that used to control you start to lose their power. You're no longer reacting, you're creating. And that's when life begins to feel like yours again. Reconnecting with the real world. One of the Matrix's most insidious tricks is disconnecting you from reality, the real reality. Instead of living in the present, it keeps you trapped in a virtual world of screens, noise, and endless distractions. It's designed to pull you away from what truly matters: nature, stillness, and your connection to yourself. When was the last time you felt the grass beneath your feet, or listened to the rustling of leaves in the wind? Sounds simple, right? But these moments are powerful. They remind you of something the Matrix wants you to forget. You're part of a living, breathing planet. You're not just a cog in a machine. You're connected to something far greater. Think about it. Your body wasn't built for artificial light in concrete jungles. It was designed to thrive in nature. When you walk barefoot on the earth, a process called grounding occurs. Your body discharges built-up stress, your nervous system calms, and your energy aligns with the natural rhythms of the planet. Science is just starting to understand this, but ancient traditions have known it for centuries. Take the story of Kale from earlier. He spent his life disconnected, rushing through the hustle and bustle until a fall literally grounded him. In that moment of stillness, he reconnected not just with the earth, but with himself. His story is a metaphor for all of us. The matrix keeps you running so fast you forget to stop and feel the ground beneath you. But when you do, everything shifts. Reconnecting with the real world doesn't require a dramatic life change. Start small. Take a walk in the park. Sit under a tree. Listen to the sounds around you. These moments of connection break the illusion of the matrix and bring you back to what's real. The science of consciousness. If you think the matrix is just a metaphor, think again. Science is beginning to reveal truths that sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but they're very real. At the heart of this discovery is one revolutionary idea. Consciousness doesn't just exist within your brain. It shapes reality itself. Let's talk quantum physics. At the subatomic level, particles don't exist in a fixed state until they're observed. This means that reality isn't solid or predetermined. It's fluid, influenced by the very act of observation. Mind-blowing, right? What you focus on, what you believe, and what you expect literally changes the world around you. Scientists like Thomas Campbell, a former NASA physicist, and Amit Goswami, a pioneer in quantum consciousness, have explored this idea in depth. Their research suggests that the universe functions like a giant simulation, with consciousness as the main player. In simpler terms, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are the code that writes your reality. But why doesn't everyone know this? Because it's threatening. If people understood the power of their own minds, the entire structure of control governments, corporations, even religions would crumble. These institutions rely on you believing that you're powerless, that reality is fixed, and that you need them to survive. This isn't just theory. It's a call to action. If your thoughts create your reality, then it's time to take responsibility for what you're focusing on. Are you dwelling on fear and scarcity, or are you visualizing abundance and possibility? The science of consciousness isn't just academic, it's practical. It's the key to rewriting your life, your reality, your rules. Here's the truth the Matrix doesn't want you to know. You are the creator of your reality. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, it's all shaping the world around you. But here's the kicker. Most of us are creating unconsciously. We're replaying old fears, doubts, and patterns without realizing it. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you're not careful, weeds, negative thoughts will take over. But if you plant and nurture flowers, positive beliefs, your garden transforms. The same is true for your reality. The matrix thrives on neglect. It feeds off your fears, your doubts, your autopilot reactions. But the moment you take control, it starts to fall apart. So, how do you take control? Start with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts. Are they empowering or limiting? Next, shift your focus. Instead of worrying about what's wrong, focus on what's possible. Gratitude is a powerful tool for this. Every morning, write down 3 things you're thankful for. This simple act rewires your brain to look for the good in life. Visualization is another game changer. Close your eyes and picture your ideal life. Feel it. See it. Believe it. The more vividly you imagine it, the more your subconscious accepts it as reality. And once your mind believes it, your actions follow. The Matrix wants you to believe you're powerless, that you're stuck. But the truth is, you've always had the power. Your reality is yours to shape. The only question is, what will you create? The awakening has begun. Something is shifting, isn't it? You can feel it, a sense that the world isn't what it seems, that reality itself is unraveling, exposing deeper truths. This isn't just your imagination. We're living through an awakening, a global shift in consciousness that's been building momentum for years. The matrix is starting to weaken, and more people than ever are beginning to see through its illusions. Look around. Ideas that were once dismissed as woo-woo or conspiracy theories are now being studied and debated by scientists, philosophers, and thought leaders. Concepts like energy, vibration, and manifestation are no longer confined to the realm of spirituality. They're entering mainstream conversations. Why? Because the old ways of thinking no longer serve us. Humanity is waking up to the realization that we are more than just physical bodies living in a mechanical universe. We are creators of our reality. But this awakening isn't smooth. Think of it like a storm before the calm. The world feels chaotic wars, economic crises, polarization. It's easy to see this as a sign that things are getting worse. But what if this chaos is actually the collapse of the old system? Like a forest fire clearing the way for new growth, the destruction of outdated structures is necessary for something better to emerge. This awakening isn't just happening on a global level, it's deeply personal. You've likely felt it in your own life. Moments of clarity, a pull towards something greater, a realization that you're meant for more. That's your consciousness breaking free from the matrix. And as more people awaken, the collective energy shifts. The more individuals reclaim their power, the harder it becomes for the matrix to maintain its hold. The question is, will you be part of this awakening? Or will you stay asleep? Final choice. The choice is yours. Let's pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Reflect on everything we've covered. The matrix isn't some sci-fi fantasy or abstract concept. It's real, and it's been shaping your life in ways you never realized. But here's the most important takeaway. You don't have to stay trapped. You have a choice. This choice isn't about overthrowing governments or dismantling systems. It starts with you. It's about reclaiming your mind, your beliefs, your life. It's about stepping into your power and realizing that you've been the creator all along. The matrix wants you to forget this. It thrives on your inaction, your doubts, and your fears. But the moment you recognize that you have a choice, its grip weakens. Think of life as a river. Most people float along, carried by the current, never questioning where it's taking them. But you're at a crossroads. You can continue drifting, or you can grab the paddle and choose your own direction. It won't always be easy. Breaking free from the matrix requires courage. You'll need to unlearn old patterns, face uncomfortable truths, and take responsibility for your reality. But the rewards, they're worth it. Freedom isn't just about escaping the matrix. It's about creating a life that's aligned with your true self. A life where you're not limited by fear or scarcity, but guided by purpose and possibility. Imagine waking up each day with clarity, knowing that you're in control. That's what's waiting for you on the other side. So, what will it be? Will you stay in the program, living the same patterns over and over? Or will you take the leap, step into the unknown, and rewrite your reality? The choice is yours. And if you're ready, this is just the beginning. Let's continue the journey together. The new era, life beyond the matrix. Now let's imagine for a moment that you've made the choice. You've stepped outside the matrix. What happens next? What does life look like when you're no longer bound by the invisible chains of fear, doubt, and limitation? This is where the real magic begins. Living beyond the matrix doesn't mean life becomes perfect. Challenges will still arise, but the difference is how you approach them. Instead of reacting out of fear or frustration, you'll respond with clarity and confidence. Problems become opportunities for growth, and setbacks transform into stepping stones. You're no longer a victim of circumstances, you are the architect of your reality. In this new era, your focus shifts from external validation to internal alignment. You stop chasing material success or societal approval because you realize true fulfillment comes from within. You reconnect with your intuition, that inner compass that's been drowned out by the noise of the matrix. You start living in flow, trusting that life is unfolding exactly as it should. This new way of living is contagious. As you awaken, you inspire others to do the same. Your energy, your presence, your actions, they ripple out, creating a wave of change. This is how the collective consciousness shifts. It starts with individuals like you choosing to break free and live authentically. The new era isn't a distant dream or a utopia. It's happening right now. Every time someone questions the program, every time someone chooses love over fear, the matrix loses its power. Together, we're building a world where consciousness is the foundation of reality, where creativity and connection replace competition and control. And it all starts with you. Are you ready to embrace this new era and step into your highest potential? Let's create it, one choice at a time. Congratulations, you've taken the first step. Recognizing the matrix and your ability to break free is no small feat. But here's the thing, this journey is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. Freedom isn't a destination, it's a practice. Every day, you'll face choices that test your commitment to living outside the program. Will you fall back into old patterns, or will you choose a new path? The more you practice awareness, gratitude, and intentional living, the stronger you'll become. Remember, you're not alone in this. Millions of people around the world are waking up, just like you. Together, we're creating a ripple effect, dismantling the matrix piece by piece. The more of us who awaken, the closer we get to a tipping point, a world where consciousness reigns and the program no longer holds power. If this message resonated with you, don't stop here. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep expanding your mind. There's so much more to discover, so much more to create. And if you ever feel lost or unsure, just remember, the answers you're seeking are already within you. So where do we go from here? That's up to you. But if you're ready to take the next step, there's a special video waiting for you. Click it, and let's continue this journey together. You've come this far for a reason. Let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes. I'll see you on the other side.